Welcome everybody. In today's video, you will be taking a look at my current KNIPEX collection. And I gotta say, I'm quite proud of where my collection has gone. I love the amount of stuff I have. I plan to buy more from them as time goes on. But this is my current setup. And we'll start with the tool I've had the longest, which is these right here. These are the Cobra 5-inch pliers from KNIPEX, and I got these about 3 years ago when my dad bought them for me. He said they look cool and stuff, and I had heard about KNIPEX a little bit at that time, but it was so awesome to get these because they were like just big enough to be able to do big stuff, just small enough to be compact and portable. And I have carried these almost every single day for the past 3 years. I'd say there might be a maximum of like 2 or 3 weeks over the past 3 years added up that I didn't carry this tool on me. But almost anytime you bump into me, I'm going to have these. But now, maybe these. We'll see how that goes. But up till now, like, if you bumped into me, I almost always had this on me. It was just so nice to have a pair of dedicated pliers in the channel lock style with the off-center head that curves over. Like, these proved so extremely useful. It wasn't funny. And it wasn't long after I bought these that I bought these. Now, they do not come all metal like this. As you can maybe see in the video here that there is some red left over. That's because they dip these into electrically charged rubber and it just clings to the metal and it'll just dip and dip and dip to get the desired thickness. And these were the smooth, shiny grips, which I did not like. I like the orange peel texture where I get a little bit more traction on my tools. And so I took a razor blade and a metal wire brush and just cleaned these up. And then these became so handy for me because now I had a little bit extra traction on these. And this is just fantastic. This is the pliers wrench, in case I did not say. And the parallel jaws that you get on this is just a fantastic feature. Being able to expand it up way large like this, like you can work on battery cables, battery terminals on cars with these, because you know the old cars that my family has, we're swapping the batteries around just often enough that it's like, hey, you know, grab those pliers real quick and loosen those up. Like, these are fantastic for that. And then I bought separately each of these two and gave one to my parents. Dad got the Cobra pliers, Mom got the pliers wrench. And that was like a fun little present for them for Christmas one year. I bought these just recently. These are now my own. Parents still have theirs. My dad also has a pair of these now, which he has laying around and he uses on occasion. I'm usually the one that's using mine more than him. If I was not around, he'd probably be using that more. But then I bought myself these. These are the 6-inch twin grips, and I do wish that they would make 4-inch twin grips, or maybe even 5-inch twin grips. I would carry the 5 inches a lot if they made them. These are just long enough to where they're not entirely portable, depending on your carry. Like, not pocket friendly, I would say. But these are phenomenal pliers here. You have the twin grips, which comes from being able to grip from the side, like so, and grip from the tip, like that. Now, it comes with 3 width settings. We'll just kind of pop it on the middle one there. It just locks right in. And the teeth on these tools that have the teeth are directional. So that means if you get it right, when you're pulling down, it'll bite harder. And when you push the other way on the same side, they won't bite as hard. It's a fun little feature of their tools. But being able to grip straight on something with these is just so wonderfully fantastic. Like, it is just delightful to have that ability. I've reached for these around the house so many times. Like, I need to get these. I go off to my room, grab these, come back. And it's just like, these are what I go for. And the little hole here is great for grabbing needles and nails. Right here on the side, you can kind of see it's a little bit hollowed out right there. That's really nice to have. And it just, you know, these are a fantastic pair of pliers. I love these. Highly recommend them. I recommend everything on the table that you see to make it clear. But now, because I have these two tools over here, I'll probably be carrying these for quite a while, unless things change and I go back to these. We'll see. I haven't really had a chance to carry these a lot. I carried them a little bit when I first got them, but I'm going to really be able to give these the run of the mill. Just go a few weeks at least, see how they are, and go from there. I have the little carrying pouch for them, which is currently on my belt, and I'm too lazy to take it off and show you. You'll see it in shorts and stuff around this video, and probably in another dedicated video of just these two tools here. And I was way off screen. Sorry about that. These tools act a little differently because they don't have the push button actuator that these tools have, which I kind of wish that they would just go ahead and make. It would be nicer if they had the push button. But you can open the handle and slide it down, and then when you get there, you can just push on the top or the bottom and it'll slide right up. There's only teeth on one side and they are angled, allowing for that to happen. Now, to disassemble this is kind of interesting. I'm not going to do it on screen, but if you look right here, you'll see a little notch underneath the circle. And it may not show up on camera, but if you look in here, you'll see that little white strip. That is a little bump that would line up with the hole, and you would take a little flathead, stick it in here, and pop it over to line up with the hole, and then that will pop out, and you can clean and maintain your tool. I may do that in a separate video, but not this one. But that's kind of how they assemble it, and it is disassemblable. Say that 5 times fast. It is disassemblable, and that's one thing I do like with this. Like, all these tools you can break down and clean and reassemble and be back in business. That is just so fantastic. But these are the little mini Cobra pliers, the Cobra XS. These are fantastic little grippers. They have a narrower head than the bigger pliers, which is not a drawback for me, but I do enjoy the wider pliers because I'm usually grabbing straight on at stuff and trying to pull back with it, and that may not be as easy with these. This is the 4-inch pliers wrench. Functions the same and has the same little disassemble bit here. And I used to carry this for the longest time back when I first got these, and this was just so handy to have. I had this, used it a lot. It was just, excuse me, this was really good to have. This is the 4-inch crescent wrench, but as you can see, you know, like, it only opens up that far. This tool can open up wider. If you leave it, the handles squished down all the same. It's about the same. It's still a little bit wider than the crescent wrench, but it's very similar. But it does open up wider if you pull the handle back, and just easier to adjust than the crescent wrench. I always forget which way the thing turns. How many of us have actually remembered which way the screw thing works? How many times do you think you're loosening and you're actually tightening the thing? You know, welcome to the club. But both are the same length, same size, about the same weight. This one may be a smidge heavier, but you know, like, for all intents and purposes, for about the same form factor and size and everything, like, this is just a lot better to have. You just get the more control, and then with the parallel jaws, you're good at squishing things. Like I've mentioned with the copper beads in another video, like, just take these and just squish them down. I take copper tubing and I squish it down with the 5-inch pliers, rotate, squish, and I take a piece that was about that long and squish it down to this. And it's just a fun little hack to do. You can cut them longer, make longer beads. I've got those copper beads on everything around here. Like, you know, it's just such an easy little thing to do that it just works out so well. It's just a nice little way to personalize your EDC gear with a little copper lanyard. I love copper. Get back on track, Jasper. But the pliers wrench, like, this is a phenomenal little tool. Like, you cannot go wrong with this. And if you bought one or the other, that's fantastic. but I've got both now. I'm going to carry them in their little case with a Victorinox Compact and an Olight i3T EOS. And that's going to be my little crash course work carry for just small maintenance tinkering stuff. Because where I work, enough stuff is just like falling apart, just enough that you just need some pliers and a screwdriver, and just it's just nice to have. And the little dual opener on the Victorinox works as a Phillips driver or a flathead, so there's that. I'll also have a bit kit on me, the Galvanox bit kit, which I'll feature in its own video, is just extremely wonderful. This is basically a Leatherman bit kit with the two halves already fused together in one slab. And it has all the same bits pretty much, maybe one or two different bits, but it's pretty much all the same bits. It's a harder Rockwell hardness, so they're not going to round out on you. It's not going to round out your screws. The bits aren't going to round out. Still have the eyeglass screwdriver that works like everything on Leatherman's bit kit, but better. And then these things are slightly magnetized so that you can hold the screws. Like just that and the little Leatherman bit extender. I know Galvanox makes theirs, but I like the Leatherman better because it doesn't rust as fast. With my Leatherman Skeletal, these two, that, like, just bit, you know, crash course maintenance. But yeah, I'm supposed to be showing you my KNIPEX stuff, not my EDC, but you get the idea. I go down rambly rabbit holes so often. But these are going to be my main carry for a little bit. I'm going to really try to give these the run of the, run them through the ringer, give them the crash course treatment. I'll make a follow-up on how much I think these helped or hurt my carry. I may go back to these. We'll see. But these are just so nice. I love them. They're fantastic. KNIPEX did so good making these. And I say KNIPEX because that's how the people at the factory say it. I'll still say it every other way, but I try to say KNIPEX because that's how the employees of the company say it. And if that's how they say it, they should know how to say it. So yeah, with all this said, all the rambly rabbit holes explored, this is my current KNIPEX collection. I love every tool on here. I think they're all wonderful. If you've been interested in any of these, please go check them out. Check them out on Amazon, check them out on their webpage, any place that sells KNIPEX tools, go check them out. They do make these tools in larger forms. You have 6-inch, 7.5, or 7.25, 10-inch, foot long, all that. Like, they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And those are just so wonderful. So, with all that said, thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it useful and informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC or your toolbox to your needs. And until the next time, farewell, carry well, and bye-bye.